Now, I don't object to getting up this early per se. However, and has the triggering begun already? Is it too early for triggering? I don't know. Maybe. If you've been up all night, maybe it would be okay. Maybe it is too early for triggering. I'm not sure. Look, I'm not. I can get. I've been getting up this. I mean, it's not an unusual time. I get up at 6 most mornings. That's fine. And being in the dark, not ideal. But you know, if you want to obtain that grain, then you have to get up in the dark, son. And leaving the house in the dark again, a little bit weird. Arriving at the studio in the dark, weird. Last time I did that was 2 a.m, and I had come to pick up USBs, and there was a trance party going on at Trickstar. Of people who I don't even think DJ on the station. I think what had happened is that they knew the combination for the door and had just come in, you know? And they'd started having some sort of trance party. Like sort of mainstream trance, not psy-trance. These were adults. These were actual adults who clearly hold down actual jobs. They were not well-dressed, but in clothes that cost money, bad clothes, bad expensive clothes. You know the type where you say, oh, that's an interesting jacket, and the first thing they do is to tell you how much it was, rather than go, oh, I got it from there, it's a such and such. They go, yeah, it's 500 quid. Oh, right, cool. Man, it must be good then. It must be a pretty cool jacket. Wow. I like the sort of little strap things on it. And is that real leather or... Wow, yeah. Is it? And it came pre-distressed, did it? Brilliant. Wow, and they obviously have a lot of people working on that. 500 quid. A snip. A bargain. And and it sure does look good against your trance records. Oh, boy. Anyway, these were the same lot that on Pride... I received a phone call from Mike, who also is a co-owner of Trickstar, saying, "Will, there are people in the studio and I can't get in. Have you got a key? Help! I think there's been a takeover." And we got into the studio and found that 2 people, these same trance DJs, this sort of marauding gang of trance DJs, not to be confused with the trance family. None of them are famous. No, God no. No one's heard of them, even in the local trance community. They're just trance vagrants, trance vagabonds. And they were in playing trance records and gurning. Twitty came in, lost his shit, kicked him out, threw USBs across the room. There was a lot of swearing. I was just laughing. It's very funny. The guy was like, "Look, Simon, just let me explain." And Twitty was like, No fucking way. I ain't explaining shit. Get out. Because it turned out that the trance they were playing was playing directly over the top of the playlist. The Pride playlist that Trickstar had going. It was just like this wall-to-wall clangs, just clanging trance over the top of a playlist. Anyway, they were in there, geared up. I was geared up, coming to get USB sticks. It was, it was weird times. But the real triggering this morning has come from the fact that the bloody corporate coffee shops don't open until 7. Right, so there's no way I'm doing a bloody 7 a.m. show anymore, not without bringing some sort of a thermos flask from home. Force me to bring my own coffee. My foot. My anus. Jesus, that's not on, is it? Now, I am thinking that probably, maybe not next week, but probably the week after, going to move the show to 8 a.m. 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. A couple of hours earlier, but with new working schedule of mine, works a lot better. Look, listen, it was a choice between that or doing it less days a week, and no one do it less days a week. No one wants it less days a week. No one wants the possibility of pre-records. No one wants pre-records. Who's the early crew? So Bert is here, despite claiming he was going to watch children's television. Thanks, mate. Chode's just pinged up a zoo. Lovely stuff. Lee's about, Stin's about, Terry Watkins is about. I don't know if he's a brother or cousin of Ian. Benage is around. Joseph Humphreys is around. Is arounds. Guys, it's an early one. It's an early start. It's early doors. Oh, crumble half a Mitzi into your cup of coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coffee and Memes.
Steady job and a couple extra potatoes. That's all I want.
You're getting on. You're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
Oh, I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Threshold.fm. Welcome to Coffee and Memes, YouTube, the I don't know whichever app is working. Probably neither of them. It's just life, really, isn't it? What you can do about it, guys. We're here. Right? There's bits. There are bits. There are bits, and I don't know, not loads, but a few little choice nuggets today. Hartley Parkinson on the Double Entendre Flex. This is the different headline to what it was on the actual homepage. Anyway, sex toys worth £1 million stolen as lorry driver slept in lay-by. Good times. There's now a pub powered by poo. Fine, sure. U.S. Army plans to use Star Wars style lasers to take down enemy drones. Okay, what if the enemy drones were supposed to come over onto U.S. soil? Seems unlikely, doesn't it? Scientists have finally worked out why women have clitoris. Clitorises? Clitori? Don't know. Jasper Hamill reporting on this. No shares. This seems like it should be more of a, I don't know, more of an Ellen Scott type deal. But well, we'll make of it what we can. Let's find out. I wonder whether or not they're male feminist scientists. We'll see how it goes. I mean, or whether or not they're on the other end of the spectrum, on the sort of like conservative Christian or conservative religion spectrum, where women have clitorises because they're whores, basically. Oh, okay, right. Okay, thanks, guys. And which religion are you with today? Don't worry about that. We'll get in on that in a bit. Okay, bagged salad is full of diseased leaves, which could be dangerous to human health. Scientists warn. I've been telling you for a while now that salad is bad for you. Not to bother with it, but does anyone listen to Uncle Rankin? No. Couples share unique wedding shots with custom-made Mr. and Mrs. Bongs. Yeah, okay. I find that fairly triggering. God. I would say this is not as bad as the vaping weddings. I don't know if anyone's seen shots of these. Couples that vape, getting married, and just having sort of photo shoots done with their rigs. Just huge plumes of vape. Fucking sickening. Now, what would Cockney Jesus think about that? Cockney Jesus? It's fucking mugs game. Right, thanks. Police warn about scam where drug dealers use calculator as scales. Jesus. If you were that stupid, could you imagine being that stupid whereby someone sends you a picture of their phone with a calculator saying 3.5, or presumably meaning that it's an eighth, and you went, all right, yeah, cheers, great. This has got to be a wind-up. This is like a 4chan wind-up or something. What's the thing of this? I don't know, is it got to have some sort of spin against the Jews or something? 4chan are on the case with it. Anyway, a guy uses dead granddad story to attempt to get a date. I like this. I think he's got chutzpah. I think he's got spunk. I think he's he's just playing the game, man. He's playing the game. In terms of shoe throwers, we'll have that submarine bit again. There's that magnitude bit, which I think everyone can pretty much agree is shoe thrower of the week, and probably the Fade Black remix of Blidge. But look, let's have this magnitude. Submarine bit. Oh, lovely bit of gear. Oh, lovely. little splinter there. Stin, please don't watch while driving. Please listen. Just listen on it. Don't watch. That'd be the real problem with the broken Android app. That'd be the cruel twist with the Android app not working that causes the death of a Scotsman. Go back to the developers. Are you happy now? Could have been an Englishman. Could have been worse. Lovely bit. Submarine. No Sleep. It's on 1985 music. Oh! Choice cut. Choice cut. Shout out to 2-year-old Luna. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. Do your studies, yeah? You can be anything you want to be. You want to be an astronaut? You got it, baby girl. You want to be a YouTuber? Go for it. Oh, lovely! Guys, what have we got here? A woman claiming she's a wolf bites vampire neighbour's ear off. Okay, that's it's a feud as old as time itself, really. As long as there is, for as long as there have been vampires and werewolves, there has been a feud between vampires and werewolves, and now it is merely spilling out into the public eye. A woman has been arrested after claiming she was a wolf and then subsequently biting off the ear of her vampire neighbour. She was arrested on suspicion of biting off a friend's ear and also sexually assaulting her. Oh dear. She's still awaiting charges in Oakland County Jail. Alison Weaver, 44, was arrested when police were called to a property in Rochester Hills. Weaver remains in the Oakland County Jail, and although identified by jail records, she has not been formally charged or arraigned as of 11:30 a.m. Thursday. The Oakland County Sheriff was called to Norfolk Drive in Rochester on Tuesday morning. One of the neighbours in the apartment block heard someone calling for help. When authorities got there, they heard the moans and went into the apartment, which was upstairs. That's where they found a scene reminiscent of a horror film. Two partially naked ladies were in the bedrooms of the property, totally covered in blood. Officials remarked that one of the women had what appeared to be bite marks all over her face, and that part of her left ear was missing, with what looked like bite marks remaining. The other woman, who is now identified as Weaver, was hovering over the victim. Both women were lying on the floor. The victim was a 48-year-old woman from Rochester Hills, and she was taken to the hospital for treatment. She told the sheriff that she knew Weaver because they used to be neighbours. She'd invited the woman over for some drinks, and Weaver made sexual advances towards her. The woman then refused to go to bed with her. She claims she was later woken up by the lady, who had taken off her clothes. She found her to be strangling and biting her. The victim then told deputies that the woman had told her that she wanted to kill her. Weaver was then arrested. That morning, she was taken to the hospital and was admitted for detox and medical evaluation. Deputies said the woman was under the influence of alcohol and potentially unknown drugs, some of which were actually recovered at the scene. Weaver is facing charges of assault. A little bit more about the whole werewolf-vampire situation, guys. That's the sort of fun bit of the story. The assault and, further on from that, a little bit less funky for 7:30 in the morning. I want the vampire stuff. What's going on? I mean, she looks pretty wild. She looks a lot better in court than she does in the mugshot. Let's put it that way. She is Karen in court, and who knows on that mugshot is pretty terrifying. I imagine she was on a cocktail of mind-bending drugs, possibly Tide Pods. I don't know. Maybe she'd taken one marijuana, and you know what can happen when you take one marijuana. Anyway, there's now a pub, powered by Pooh, Ellen Scott reports. It's called the Number 2 Tavern. If we combine our environmental efforts with the chance to have a pint, we're all for it. That's the spirit. Enter the Number 2 Tavern, a new pub powered by an easily renewable resource, Todd. Created by Yorkshire Water, the Number 2 Tavern is a pop-up pub in Leeds powered by electricity made from sewage, including human waste. That doesn't mean loading up a furnace with poo, just to be clear. Instead, sewage sludge is taken to a Nostrop Energy and Recycling Centre, where it is treated and converted into fertiliser. It is then used to create methane-rich biogas that's turned into green electricity, which is then used to power the pub. It's a process called anaerobic digestion. Safe. That means that, unfortunately, you can't take a trip to the loos and know exactly which light bulb is being powered by your poo. The process of turning the sewage into fuel takes around 2 weeks. But to celebrate the sustainable power source, there's now a pub dedicated to the power of pooing. This is going on, man. They're squeezing as much of the Todd out of this one as possible. The number 2 tavern, open in the Light in Leeds, has a special throne for guests to sit atop. Spoiler, it's a prop toilet, don't actually use it. And we'll be serving up water through a pump. So if you don't fancy beer, you can treat yourself to a nice pint of water. Exciting times. It'll be open from today until the 9th of November. Oh, it's not a permanent fixture then? Forget it. All right, it's environmentally friendly. Yeah, you've made a whole fucking pub for 2 days. What was the environmental cost of that, eh? What would Greta have to say about that? You've stolen my pub! Yeah, you're not old enough to drink, love. Forget about it. My childhood! You've got a Nobel Prize. You can't... stolen your childhood and got a Nobel Prize? Yeah. What else we got? Well, this Grandad bit is a bit of fun. Let's get into that. I'm keen for it. There we go. Where are we? Okay, woman's anger after man messaged her saying his granddad had died before asking if she was single. You know, player got to play, right? When Rachel Brogan, 23, received a message out of the blue from a stranger, she was a little confused. The man simply said, "Hey, did you hear about my granddad?" Not recognizing the name, Rachel simply replied, "What?" He claimed he had sent the message to the wrong person, but told her he wasn't thinking straight, as his granddad had passed away. He claimed he meant to text a girl from school, but clicked on Rachel's profile by accident. But not one to miss an opportunity, the man decided it's the perfect moment to make a pass at Rachel. He said, "You're lovely, though, kiss," before following the message with a smiley face and asking, "You single?" Rachel, a clerical officer for the NHS from Scotland, posted a screen grab of the message on Twitter saying, "I mean, that's a weird way to slide into the DMs." She said she didn't bother to reply to the message. Dang. Her tweet got over 30,000 likes and retweets, and people weren't impressed. One said, "I suppose he need a date for to the funeral." Another added, "The guy got the balls. You give him that at the least." Okay. Rachel said, "I think it was just a weird way to get my attention. I don't think he meant to click someone else at all." Oh, you reckon? It's not the first time Rachel had received a DM. It's a little bit unusual. She added, "I get quite a few of the ones that are like that." Oh, that's it. No other examples. The pictures are limited in this. The Lab Bible one has got a lot more pictures of her. Where is she? No, that's a woman facing jail for not returning library books. Their granddad line. Yeah, right. Okay. I'll just what? Oh, no, there's okay. So Lab Bible have gone to town on the sort of booby selfies here from her. Wow. Okay. Yep. She's a canny lass, I guess. Yeah, maybe a lot of people slide into her DMs. I don't know. I've no idea. Man is building his own helicopter from scratch because he's sick of traffic. All right, Elon Musk. Let's have another little new guy. From the shoe thrower buffet. What have we got? Something perhaps a little. Where's that? Let's have this canine bit. It's called Depth. It's probably nice for this time in the morning. Yeah, man! That's K9. It's a track called Depth. It's on Shogun Audio. Hot new startup label that I'm sure are going to do very, very well this summer. Right, come on, let's find out why women have clitorises then, according to quote-unquote scientists. Scientist claims he's finally worked out why women have a clitoris. Clitoris is one of the most mysterious parts of the human body for all sorts of reasons, depending on who you ask. Now, a male scientist thinks he's worked out why nature blessed ladies with an organ which appears to be dedicated only to pleasure. Roy J. Levin of Sheffield University has published a paper entitled The Clitoris, an appraisal of its reproductive function during the fertile years. Why was it, and still is, overlooked in accounts of female sexual arousal? Okay. His study suggests that the female pleasure center serves as an important reproductive function, rather than purely being there to cause ecstatic sensations. This is Jasper Hamill writing this, just to picture that, just for a second. Just get a little shot of the Hamill there. Just get a little, just for reference, just get a little pipe at Hamill's boat. There it is. There's Hamill. There he is, science and technology reporter. So just bear that in mind. Okay. His study suggests that the female pleasure center serves an important reproductive function, rather than purely being there to cause ecstatic pleasure. The often repeated mantra that the sole function of the clitoris is to induce sexual pleasure is now obsolete, Levin says. The concept changes a major sexual belief, and the psychological evidence is now obvious. All right, it's a little diagram there in case you've never seen a vagina before. Very small anus, I will say. Very, very small. Levin's research indicates the clitoris activates the brain when stimulated to cause a combination of changes in the female reproductive tract that creates its readiness to receive and process sperm to achieve possible fertilization of the egg. The physical changes include enhanced vaginal blood flow, an increase in vaginal lubrication, an increase in vaginal oxygen, a change in the position of the cervix, the entrance to the uterus. This brings the cervix away from the semen pool and prevents sperm zooming into the uterus too rapidly, thus allowing sperm time to become mobile and activate to fertilize the egg. The process is called vaginal tenting and ballooning. In his paper, Levin wrote, all these genital changes taken together are of major importance in facilitating the possibility of reproductive success, and thus gene propagation. No matter how or when the clitoris is stimulated, they reveal its overlooked reproductive function. So is the insinuation here, if you're trying for a baba, so really, really work on the little man in the boat. Really, really pay a lot of attention to that little fella. Really make sure that that little sailor, that little fisherman, little man in the boat, really gets his fill of fish. Really, really gets his fill of fish. Where are we? Of course, also commensurate with these changes is its activation of sexual pleasure. The clitoris thus has both procreative, reproductive, and recreative pleasure functions of equal importance. Clitoridectomy creates not only sexual disability, but also reproductive disability. That's interesting to know. Do you agree? What is it for? Reproduction. Everyone says pleasure. God damn. Always got to be different. Always got ever the contrarian. Ever the contrarian. Jewish Chronicle pleads with the UK to boycott Corbyn general election. Okie dokie. Sounds good to me. Where are we? Oh God, Hamill. Don't need that. Don't need that in your life. Another Hamill. Not straight into another Hamill story. Come on. All right, let's find out about these goddamn Mr. and Mrs. Bongs. Couple sharing unique wedding shot with custom-made Mr. and Mrs. Bongs. Okay, not for me, thanks. But if everyone should be, able to live their own lives of whatever that may be, as long as they're not hurting others. Romance isn't dead, guys. One loved up bride and groom toasted their wedding vows, not with a nice expensive glass of champagne, but by using matching custom-made Mr. and Mrs. Bongs. Viral blogger Coral Reefer and her husband Mio, got the personalised bongs made especially for their wedding day on the 19th of October. Coral Reefer. I see what you did there. Their wedding photographer, Rachel R. says that the couple's passion for cannabis, which is legal in California, made their wedding one of the most unique she's ever been to. Photos taken at the wedding show Coral in her dress and veil with groom Mio by her side, both simultaneously smoking the bongs. Honking on the chong. Be fun if you accidentally just pulled a savage whitey and just and then what do you do first? Do you whitey first and then green out, or do you green out and then whitey? What causes the green out? What causes the whitey? What's going on? Is it the evil marijuana fucking with your equilibrium, or is it just because you're a goddamn newbie? Because you're a pussy. You're a little pussy boy who can't handle the ganja. Oh God! I think if I was to smoke a bong, take one bong hit right now, I could be the first person to die from weed. I think it's very possible. I think I'll be dead within the hour, definitely. Probably within 10 minutes before an ambulance could get here. Undoubtedly, I don't know what they would. What would the ambulance do? Quick! Because someone's like, oh fuck! Look, Rankin's dying on the live stream. Oh shit! Right, quick! Call the ambulance. You gotta get the fucking back room of Trickstar Radio. Yeah, I don't know. It's opposite a Pizza Hut. Who knows? But what would they do to try and resuscitate me? Give me a Red Bull? I don't know. Oh, vitamin C brings him back. Oh, he did caffeine, a line of speed. Just work some pinger dust into his gums. Just come on. Just trying to work the pinger dust in. Yeah, that's it, we're getting there. I'll start gently gurning. Come on, we can do it. Let's crush up some more pingers. Get in. What's it say? He's back. Woo! What happened? We're doing it on the show. What? God. The couple blow clouds of smoke in wisps around them before Coral beams directly at the camera. Other photos taken later in the day show Coral puffing on her bong alone before exhaling the smoke towards the camera. Cool, man. Wow. To have and to toke forever and ever. Yeah. I don't know. I sort of feel like I mean, yeah, okay, it's your hobby, it's your sort of thing, but like, when people have stuff like that at weddings, even when I see people like getting married in their jiu-jitsu gis, I'm a bit like, I don't know, like, yeah, maybe. I don't know, there's just something just eternally cringe about a theme wedding. Just, I don't know. Not for me, as a, as a staunch believer in the sort of religious values and the sanctity of marriage, what next? A man marrying a shoe? Think about it, guys. Christ. Probably talking to shoes. Let's have this. This will wake us up. This magnitude bit. It's called Mantis, and yeah, it should clear the cobwebs. Will apologise. 100% not on it after only having had one coffee this morning. Blame Costa. Blame the coffee industrial complex. Mantis. Mantis. It's Magnitude with Mantis. Rowdy. Oh. Yep, it's a nice one. Sex toys worth £1 million. Stolen as lorry driver slept in lay-by. Alrighty. A truck driver was left unable to deliver his load. Oh, we're going to have to get the soundboard up, aren't we? For that. No, Magnitude. You've had your time. You have had your time. I don't know whether... Is it going to be over? Now, how are we going to do this? How will we do this? Okay, yeah. Okay, how many of these can we get? It's always Hartley Parkinson on the double entendres. A truck driver was left unable to deliver his load after thieves stole £1 million worth of sex toys from the back of his vehicle. An assortment of goods was meant to go to Rocks Off Limited in Northamptonshire, but was stolen from a lay-by while the driver slept. While thieves are likely to be satisfied with their load, it is likely they could do hard time as police launch an appeal to track them down. They arrived for their haul and buzzed off at some point between 1 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. on Saturday, September the 18th. Police want to hear from anyone that may have heard the thieves coming and going at the lay-by on the A43 between the A14 and Brofton Village. If convicted, they face stiff sentences, up to 7 years for theft. Northamptonshire Police said the incident happened on Wednesday, September the 18th. So it was Saturday, September the 18th. Yes, in a lay-by. But that's just literally what you just said. You've just repeated yourself. This is a whole another paragraph here. Just repeating the earlier things, just in a slightly different order. At some point between 1 a.m. and 6:30, the trailer was broken into and £1 million worth of goods were stolen. Anyone with information should contact police on 101. Well, Hartley Parkinson, I think you could have done a few more in there. I feel like you were about 3 sentences shy on that one. I think you're letting your standards slip. How many shares you got on that? 800. Not bad. You know, not the worst I've ever seen, but I do feel you could do better. What's this? US Army got lasers. Jeff Parsons, no shares. Imagine it's rubbish. Labour tax plan could stop parents passing on homes to their kids. Great, nice one, sack of commies. Fucking John McDonnell. Why can't we just have a normal Labour Party, please? What are those absolute lunatics? God, pray for the day of a normal centre-left Labour Party. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we've done that one. God almighty. Jasper Hamill's big mealy mouth. Okay, bagged salad is full of diseased leaves, which could be dangerous to human health, scientists warn. The bagged salad sold in supermarkets across the world is full of diseased leaves and could contain bugs, which are dangerous to human health, scientists have warned. Modern pre-packaged salads are often grown intensively in factory farms. Apparently the salad doesn't even get a chance to even have its own space, and the salad pecks at each other and they have to give it antibiotics. It's a terrible situation. Factory farms designed to churn out vast quantities of crops. They are also cultivated far away from their natural habitats in foreign soils. What's going on here? Where they're exposed to foreign pathogens, bacteria or other microorganisms which cause disease. Okay, Jasper Hamill's on some sort of weird alt-right nutrition tip. As the industry grows dynamically, so does the number of new diseases. The American Phytopathological Society warned in a statement. There are so many reasons for this increase. First, these seasonal products are grown under high crop density in 5 to 6 cycles annually in the same specialised farms with a lack of adequate crop rotation and a shortage of applicable fungicides. Additionally, international trade has moved crops away from the original environment to foreign soils where they could encounter new diseases. People have died from romaine lettuce recently, haven't they? That was a thing for a bit. There was some naughty lettuce going around. You always get your lettuce tested. There are lettuce testing places at all festivals now. And, I know and we've got to try and remove the stigma, It is very important that, if you have friends, if you have children that are now teenage and stuff, make sure they get their lettuce tested. In some cases, very low levels of seed contamination can lead to the rapid emergence of new diseases in new geographical areas, resulting in severe losses, disrupting the environmental biological equilibrium, and sometimes launching a devastating epidemic. Yeah, well, salad's overrated for many reasons. Climate change is also at threat because rising temperatures also reduce plant resistance to pathogens, whilst new bugs are often characterised by a preference for high temperatures. A paper published in the journal Plant Disease, a team of scientists said new diseases have been found in lettuce, wild and cultivated rocket, lamb's lettuce, chicory, endive, basil, spinach and Swiss chard. Many of the diseases found in bag salads are primarily an economic threat because the spread of disease could wipe out farmers' crops and leave them out of pocket. Some of the bugs could also be considered a threat to humans. Okay, well, that goes on and on. I can't imagine what more information we could glean from that other than don't ever eat salad ever, I think is the takeaway that Jasper Hamill's getting at there. Just, if you see bagged salad in a supermarket, set it on fire. I'm pretty sure that's what Hamill's trying to say. I think he's saying if you see someone eat a salad, punch them immediately in the face. They'll thank you for it later. Not my words, ladies and gentlemen, the words of tech editor, correspondent for the Metro, Jasper Hamill. What else do we have? Oh, God, couple with the bongs. Okay, look. Let's get into this whole calculator, weed scales, fiasco, boogaloo. Police warn about scam where drug dealers use calculator as scales. The police sometimes get pretty creative in their efforts to crack down on the manufacturing, trafficking and consuming of drugs. But we haven't seen anything quite like Mint Hill Police Department's PSA, which they shared on Facebook, of course, on Monday the 4th of November. The North Carolina Force wrote, "The Mint Hill Police Department has been made aware of a new scam that we want the public to be aware of. Some untrustworthy drug dealers, who'd have thunk it, are using their cell phone instead of a certified scale to display the weight of the merchandise they are selling. By placing the drugs on their cell phone, they can type whatever weight they want in, claiming it was the weight agreed upon during your transaction." All right, I could imagine that working maybe with like meth or smack or something, where you're dealing with people that are already out of their minds and possibly not thinking that clearly, and could just like, I'll have it. All right. By placing the drugs on their cell, please do not become a victim of this scam. Well, at least the police are trying to help people, get as much drugs as they pay for. Contact us here at the Mint Hill Police Department and schedule a meet with one of our officers. We can assist you by weighing your purchase to ensure that you didn't get cheated out of what you paid for. Okay, all right. Now the sass comes out. All right, I wonder how much that social media person is getting paid at taxpayers' dime. Okay, so this might not be what it seems. Surely, I see. All right, they're making it up. Right, okay, so it's shenanigans by the police, by the Mint Hill Police Department. Nice doggo. Good doggo. That doggo really looks like it's going to eat your face. Surely, and we stress surely, no one would actually fall for this trick, and this is just a humorous way for the cops to encourage people either not to do drugs or to report their dealers. People on the force's Facebook page seem to lap up the PSA. What does PSA stand for? PSA. Prostate. No, wait, what? Prostate specific antigen. Guys, what? Are they telling people to get a prostate check? Okay, it's weird. One person wrote, "Okay, I just laughed out loud at this. What the hell word's that supposed to be? Asterisked out. This ballsy, but public service. I'm going to be interested in how many you get who ask for help." Second added, "This is one idea." Oh, public service announcement is what it stands for. PSA. Fucking hell. Sorry. It's early! This is one of the best public service announcements I've seen in a long time. Please update your post with names and pictures of those nice people that take you up on the offer. Love this idea. Way to go, Mint Hill Police Department. Third said, fuck you, Mint Hill Police Department, you fucking totalitarian pieces of shit. Christ. When you're not shooting unarmed black men, you're busy trying to trick people into come and hand themselves in for drugs. You fucking... You stinking, oppressive swine. All right, that's a bit much. As a public service, the police department parking lot is a designated safe spot to conduct sales transactions. Call ahead, and I'm sure any of the officers would be happy to supervise the exchange. Oh, that's very kind of them. Well, there we go, guys. There we goddamn go. Look, we can have one more bit, and then... Christ, get yourself. I can go and get a cup of coffee. Thank God for that. Thank bloody God for that. Look, let's play this hotline bit. Ivy Lab and Two Fingers. Fun way to end the show. Yeah, nice bit. So people in the chat saying it stands for publicly serviced anal.
How can I assist you today? Hi. Okay. Oh, your internet isn't working. I'm sorry about that. Well, I will be happy to assist you over the phone. Do you have one of our telegrams with you?
Guys, coming up at 11 o'clock, Foghorn Friday with your boy Mackie D. And then at 12, Matty Wright's Dick Slinging Day Out. With either a recording or a re-recording of his all-dayer set. That's a nice outro. Like that. That's a good bit of gear. That was Ivy Lab and Two Fingers with a record that is called Hotline, and you can get it in stores now. Go to our price or HMV, and you can get it on cassette tape. Go to Virgin Megastore, and Richard Branson will harm it into your motherfucking face. What will happen is you go in there, Brando's, Richard Brando, the brand man, Brand Van 3000. Richard Brand Van 3000 is in there, working the tills, and you go up there and you go, "You got a new Ivy Lab record!" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And he just grabs you, holds your nose, pulls your chin down so you've got an open mouth, and then he looks like he's going to like open mouth kiss you, but he just sings, sort of beatboxes, I guess, in a way, sings the Ivy Lab tune directly into your mouth. It's weird, but hey, it's only 99p, so hard to argue with that, guys. Hard to argue with it. Listen, yeah, thank you to everyone that's supporting on the Patreon. You played an incredibly vital role in the maintenance of this radio station. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if you would like to, add a few new people sign up recently, and also I've had to take a few people off fucking list because they haven't paid in fucking months, and it's not fair on the others. So that's the thing. And some people have left because they said I was subhuman scum and they hated my guts. So that's understandable. Fair enough. And you know, I respect them for it. But the VIP list is as follows: Greg Cornford, Oliver Hooper, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Squidgy Beats, Pauly Hutton, Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Matey Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Sam Howard, Tony J, Richard Patterson, Tom Camm, Stephen Harris, Matthieu Boulard, Jeroen Van Thunderbutt, Mike Pilot, the Unsub, Richard Franks, Thomas Hall, Chode Ryder, John Finison, BDR Crew, Peter Blatchford, Austin Grief, Kid, Gennady Lightfield, James Parry, Hendo Bartendo, Lewis Griffithson, Ian, the Man, Thunderbutt, Guy Fucking Morris, Guy With No STD, James MC, Josh Williams, Rob Humphrey, Shibby T, Coco Shiva, Dan Adam, Taran Wilmore, Dr. Chris Sergeant, actually Superior Drum and Bass, Kris Breaks, The Build, Odin Bates, Lee Fuller D, Daniel Flaxus, Matt Wright, Grant Sullivan, Tom Robinson, Dab Smasher, Connor Smythe, Kevin Kaiser, Chris Shaw, Cosmic Waff, Meatloaf, Nick Brock, Sean Simpson, Robin Carter, Hugh Dan and Sarah Hunt, The Hitchmus, Will A, Ben Virgo, Den Tweed, Lupe Zalazar, Big Wodge, Mighty Danny, Nick Fleming, Carl Lewis, Gordon and Liz, Tom Skipper, unfortunately it's George DC, Anthony Sharp, Claudia Lashmere, Benny Shrem Roche, Timid, John Forsyth Anderson, PSN Godlike, MC Hammer Daddy, Your Mum, Leonardo Gervais, Big 8, Chapter 13, and Grant Shepherd. Cheers, guys. That was a bit early for me. Well, actually would have been fine had there have been coffee available. I will have to I have to work out how this whole thing works with it being earlier. But next week, back to normal, 10 a.m. But I'm thinking the week after, might try 8. And I know that might trigger some people, but Christ, it's got to work for everyone. Okay, look, I love you. Have a good weekend. At 11 o'clock, bloody Foghorn Friday with our boy D. He's got all of the foghorns you could ever possibly imagine. And then at 12 o'clock is Big Matty Wright's Dick Slinging Day Out, where he has compiled an hour's worth of real good shoe-throwing bangers. And it's going to be right good. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I love you. I will see you on Monday. Goodbye.